All right, it's a new semester.
It's like, just make it believable. It's a familiar conversation.
Then I'm over here messing up. All right.
What up?
So it's a new semester.
Yes.
We did a lot last semester.
A lot.
Prepare.
Man, did we do a lot.
Now, what's going on new with the Glee Club?
New with the Glee Club. We're in new digs here, back in the old space, which is now new, but smaller, more intimate, less. I think it's less resonant in the room, and so they're kind of sitting there like, "What's going on here?" But for me, I remember it's just like the old days. We weren't always in a huge auditorium, so we back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
This space, which used to be the Glee Club rehearsal room and the music department, is now just the Glee Club. This whole space is now dedicated to the Glee. So that's new. And that's nice. Shall I talk about other new things? Like membership?
Yeah.
Well, a number of members have decided not to continue on. I don't know, number of reasons. Varies semester to semester. Some people find that it's too much work. Or they get in academic trouble and then have to take a break from the Glee Club, or are just sick of me. No, I'm just kidding.
So is that a regular thing with years past? Is that a
because we start with about 80, 85, and I really hope not to be at 60 at the new semester. So 20 people, 21st years, if you will, deciding it's too much for me and quit. It's the typical. This semester, we lost a couple core members. I don't know if they were in academic trouble or just wanted to focus on academic or just didn't want to do the club. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
You think some of the programming this year might have had something to do with it?
I don't know, but I do know that many of us did it and are still here. So, it's doable. We've had semesters that were way harder.
In terms of first years, how many were here on that first Glee Culture video and are still here? There are a fair amount that are still here?
I don't know, maybe on one hand, the first year's clip, which leaves me a little over 60, which, 60 is my target number.
Do you think in this case that the programming had something to do with that?
I think the programming had everything to do with that. They're part of this Glee culture. They want to be part of that. So I think what we were able to do last semester, even though it was a lot, help us keep members too. They're excited about it.
What were some of the important things that the Glee did and accomplished this semester, this past semester?
Man, you're going to make me remember on that. Yikes. Okay, so the Atlanta Dream. Atlanta Dream, when we put on the jerseys and killed it for HBCU night, and my son was on the video in his Glee jersey. That was the best. That was good. Certainly the Tabernacle Choir experience, which continues, was the beginning of a great partnership. Christmas Carol was great. We had guests with us this year, family, and I think we knocked it out of the park again. I don't know why I can't just leave well enough alone.
Well, that would not be becoming of you. What about the Galerants? What is that all about?
Well, the Galerants, led by Colonel and Mrs. Boykin, are my dearest parents over these 25 years, have agreed to lead the Galerants, which is the Glee Club Parents organization, and have committed to a Centennial Scholarship in their name that they will encourage other parents to give to the Glee. So that, they have supported us since Brittany was here. So she's now a professor at Tech, so that was at least, they've been around 15 years, still going strong.
Now, I know that the Glee Club has also acknowledged some of the previous students who've gone on to have careers in various ways and acknowledging them and their successes. Do you think it's impacting the school to see how the Glee prepares these young ladies for a good career and a good life?
Yes, I think that's Probably, I've been thinking about this. I think that's the centennial story too. To have more interviews with our alums during the centennial year to roll out sort of our alums in terms of how the Glee Club impacted their life and how I think one of our strongest points is that we have alumni mentors. You know, our current students can see like these doctors and lawyers and veterinarians and come back who were dreaming they would do that as students. And so here's the evidence that it's possible.
Now, we also got to see a video of the Norma Rabin and the Roland Allison Glee alum. How was it incorporating them into the story of the current Glee Club?
Incorporating them into the 100-year story of the Glee Club is essential because I've only been here one quarter at a time. And so that's my Glee history of 25 years. But before that, with Roland Allison and Willis Lawrence James and Norman Raven, there's a lot of, I think I got a sentiment of they didn't feel like, they sort of disfranchised because, you know, it wasn't their experience. Their experience was different. But not really, I mean, different, but not really, because they had this, when we heard them in the interview, they kind of still had those stories of tour and different things, Roland Allison talking crazy, you know. It's important to include those older alums in the story because it is their story. We want to be sure that they feel 100% of the centennial celebration, that they're just as much a part of it as anybody, because frankly, you know, people stay in Glee Club 4 years. Ish. So, you know, we've got people claiming Glee that was in it a year. I mean, and that's fine. You're only in it for 2 semesters, but you're still part of the family. And some who dedicated their whole Spelman career to Glee for 8 semesters. So we got all levels.
Nice. Well, speaking of levels, you've given the Glee Club something new to think about in having them rate their level of dedication to the Glee. 5, 7, and 10. What do those numbers represent?
I didn't want to go below 5 because you should not have even re-enrolled unless you're at a 5 level. 5 is, I'm going to be a member, I'm going to be at rehearsal, I'm going to sing at the spring concert, I'm engaged, I love it. But I'm a 7, so if you get extra gigs, I'm thinking about doing that too, you know. Or I want to be in leadership in some kind of way. I want to give a little more. That's a 7. 10 is, I wish you wouldn't put me on a list because I'm diehard Glee. I'm doing everything because I am the leadership. So that's a 10. They'll go on tour. They're doing a lot of performances. They're leading. They're the student face of the Glee. Those are the 10s.
Well, what do you think it did for the ladies to have them declare their own level rather than being given a level by you?
I just thought it was appropriate as we start off, just name it. Name what you're doing. Name what you're doing, you know. There's some people saying 10, and I'm like, whoa, what is your name again? Yeah. That you wouldn't expect because they're not one of the known 10s. So that was good to see. It's good to see what their intention is because I want to meet them at their intention.
Now, speaking of intention, when we started the Glee Culture series, you asked 2 questions. You said, is it effective and is it necessary? How do you categorize how the Glee Culture series is? Is it effective? Is it necessary?
Okay, so is it necessary? If you're going to move up to the next level, I think it's necessary to let people know who you are. And I just think, you know, we got a new provost, we got a new president, everybody's new, students are new. So, you know, to set the history on film is not only important to like our current administration, our current students, our current fan base to be able to see us behind the scenes. Is that important? Yes. It's also historically important because just think if we had those videos from Roland or back in the day and we'd see them, we'd probably be able to say, well, oh yeah, nothing's changed, it's the same. But for us to put it, not just any videos, high quality video, which matches our motto, the amazing inspire, I think it's necessary for us to get the response from the people we're trying to get the response from, the support from. Some of them have no idea what it is. They may have just come from a school where they choir, just choir, like a choir class. And I think it was as late as this morning. I'm thinking, well, why not just do a choir class? Do I need all this? Do I need to do all this? Just do choir class. But no, it's necessary to move this thing up to the next level.
Okay. This series is titled Glee Culture. These young ladies not only just want to be a part of the organization, but want to take it seriously so they can do well in the organization, but also so that they can improve and build a rapport of excellence in their personal life. How do you think that the Glee culture can impact these ladies in that way?
Well, if they're involved with us, then they have friends involved with us. That's the way this goes. And all of them understand what the Glee stands for and what we expect. It's at a high level. And I think a lot of the students that we get operate at a high level already. A lot of them are leaders. And like one of the past presidents is a veterinarian. Other past president is a museum curator, although I thought she probably should have been a singer, whatever. Their experience in the Glee Club, I know for a fact. I tell them, before you graduate, get yourself together, because I've never seen anybody act one way in the Glee and come back on their reunions 5, 10, 15 years later and be any different. They the same people. People trifling in the Glee are trifling in the world. People who are leaders and high level in the Glee, they come back high level. It's amazing to see what they're able to do in their personal life. So we hope that, Glee is a place where high level people can make this happen and then go on. They keep the same friends. They keep a lot of their Glee friends over the years. And I've seen, our provost was in Glee. Before it was Manley, past Surgeon General and president of the college was in Glee. It's just example after example, high level people operating in Glee. And we want to keep it that way.
All right, so final remarks. What do you have to say to the young ladies of this year's remaining Glee ensemble?
So second half of the road to 100. First half, 12, so however many videos we made over our fall semester. It was a lot. So I say to the ones that decided this is their thing and they're starting up in our new facility here and ready to take on spring and our final road to Centennial, I say, let's go. Let's go. Road to 100, onward and upward, SCGC. Fold, bring it back this way, life, is that right? Fold, that's right. Fold, life, is that right? Is that wrong? SCGC, fold, life. Oh, this way, SCGC. Fold, life. Bam.